Hey everybody, so I just wanted to give a quick follow-up video to my video I had last week about how to play games, and in the meantime I thought I would show off Wizard 101. I did have some people interested in it, saying that they wanted to see some gameplay. Now I'm not playing my main character, mostly because fights, if anyone's played the game, fights can take a really long time at high levels, so I'm playing actually one of my really low-level characters. But anyway, so I'm just gonna run around for a minute while I chat, and then I'll probably show off some fights. So I just wanted to thank everybody for the responses. I actually read all of them, and I thought about it, and I'm really glad I did that video, because at first I was thinking, oh no, my viewers are gonna think I'm crazy, blah blah blah. But I'm really glad I did it, and I'm really glad you guys seem to enjoy it, the people who watched it at least. And I'm just so thankful for the responses. You guys have no idea. I really like the fact that not everyone agreed with me, because that's what I was hoping for. Was I kind of wanted to hear differing opinions. There were two major things I want to talk about. One was the achievements. I mentioned I didn't like achievements, and there were a lot of really good counterpoints to why achievements are good. And after I read them, I thought about it, and I actually kind of have to change my opinion a little. I still think some achievements are stupid, don't get me wrong. I think the ones that are like, get all 16 endings and play an extra 500 hours and collect every item in the game, and that's still not for me, but I do see the counterpoints. A lot of people were claiming that achievements were kind of like side quests. So if you treat them like optional side quests, then the game can be fun, and it really kind of also depended on the genre of game. I had a few people say that certain games like first-person shooters and stuff, I think they were first-person shooters. I'm not familiar with that category. I'm getting over my fear of guns, but I think they were first-person shooters, or in that category. They were saying that achievements in that category can be fun, and I guess they're right. I didn't really stop to think about it, but there are times where I have actually looked at achievements and thought, oh man, I want to try to do that, and it's been so long since I've had that happen to me that I'd kind of forgotten about it. So I probably won't riff on achievements as much as I have been in the past few years. I might actually take the time to look through them, because it made me actually go back. I think I mentioned that I just recently beat Phoenix Wright, and I was playing it on the iPad, and I went and looked at all the achievements afterwards, and some of them were pretty funny, and it actually kind of made me want to go back and see some of those situations. Because I feel like for a while I just gave up on. I felt like I gave up on achievements just because I felt like they were too hard, and I kind of have to attribute it to WoW a little, because I would try so hard to get an achievement, and then I would tell my friend or, you know, one of my in-laws, and they're like, oh, I got that weeks ago. That's such a silly achievement. How could you not gotten it? You know, and it made me feel like a terrible player. And I felt like, you know, they were achievements. It was something to seriously be achieved, and I had to prove myself by doing it. And I think I was just thinking of it all wrong. So I have to really thank you guys for giving me a different view on the situation, because that was kind of one reason I wanted to have this video. It wasn't to say I was right or wrong, or anything was right or wrong. I really wanted different views and to understand it better. So I thought that was a really awesome thing. The other thing I wanted to touch on, which was the biggest thing for me, was help versus backseat gaming. Now, I was not aware of the term backseat gaming, so I think actually Maverinthia had a video response, and she mentioned it, and then ironically several other people mentioned it. And I talked to Helper and Icon, I looked it up, and I didn't know what backseat gaming was. And of course, now that I hear about it, it seems so obvious. It's kind of one of those where have I been living kind of things. I've been under a rock. And I have to apologize to everybody. I really did not interpret a lot of the help over the years as the way I did. I guess I was seeing it as backseat gaming, which was very wrong of me. I'll admit to that mistake. I have difficulties when somebody writes something like, you went the wrong way, you should have done this. I was interpreting that as the way I just said it. No, what are you doing? Blah, 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 blah. And I think the way that it was worded was, oh my gosh, no, there's something cool over there if you have gone that way. And you know, in the way that people write these days, especially with the shorthand, you know, they're like, go left, you know, instead of like the full sentence of, oh, if you go left, blah, 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 blah. You know, people write so shorthand these days. I mean, like every other word out of people's mouths is like an acronym or some kind of shorthand word. And, I was just misinterpreting, and that's a problem I even have at work. I think that's just a problem with, you know, texting or IMing in general, too. It's just you don't catch the meaning behind what someone is saying sometimes. And it's funny, because I'm not gonna... Sorry, Turbo, I'm gonna keep picking on you for the, mint leaf. I mean, I'm not gonna... I should reword that, because the mint leaf thing has become hilariously funny to everybody. I know. In fact, when I just started uploading Suikoden, he made a comment about mint leaves and Suikoden, and I actually was drinking. I was actually at a friend's house, and we were playing board games, and I saw that message come up, and I was taking a drink, and I actually spat the drink out, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, are you okay?" And I said, "Oh my gosh, one of my most loyal viewers just said the funniest thing ever." But no, anyways, going back to the mint leaf thing. At first, I was kind of like, you know, oh yeah, mint leaves. We actually, you know, looked up the mint leaf thing a while in, you know, and I was all thankful. I was like, oh, thanks for the mint leaf. And then the second and third time it kept coming up, I started to think, uh-oh, you know, did I misinterpret that as did I really mess up? Did I upset my viewers, you know? And I've come to realize that I think, you know, y'all aren't like that. Y'all are not backseat gamers. Y'all are just helping me. And I never really realized it all this time. I misinterpreted it because I guess I wasn't thinking. I don't know. And so, I think for me personally, I gained a lot out of this. I don't know about you guys. I don't know if y'all read all the comments from everybody else, but I gained a lot. I gained the idea that, you know, achievements are good in a way, you know, and I also learned there's a difference between help and backseat gaming, and I need to make sure that when I read the statements that I'm pretty sure, like, 99% of the time that my viewers are saying something. It's just to be helpful. And so, to me, that's a huge gain, just because, I don't know, one of the things I've been trying to do is to improve myself as a person by, you know, understanding people as a whole, like, getting along with them, not assuming things, just learning, you know, and to me, this is a huge thing. I mean, this probably sounds silly to y'all, but, and I'm trying to go somewhere with this. I'm sorry. One of my new things, I have to think through my sentences sometimes when I'm trying to say something, and I'm failing because I'm playing Wizard 1 at the same time. And there was a lot of other really good points. People were saying that, you know, it's good to take gaming seriously sometimes, especially when you're trying to make a career out of it, which, you know, seems kind of silly. I mean, if that's what you want to do, then great, but, I've learned from experience that if you really enjoy something, you have to really enjoy it to make it your job. Otherwise, make it a really preferable hobby. You know, it's like with people like me and crochet. I love to crochet, and I love taking requests. But when I start to feel like I have to do it, that it doesn't become fun anymore. It's interesting. Like I get orders all the time from people I know. They want me to make certain things. And, when the backlog of orders becomes too long, I start to worry, like, oh man, this isn't fun anymore, because I start worrying about deadlines and all that. It's kind of like, I guess, LPing a little. Sometimes I worry if I'm falling behind or haven't done anything in a while. I'm like, oh no, but I just have to remember it's a hobby. I went off topic. So, anyways, I just, again, wanted to thank you guys. I hope you guys got something out of it. I know I did. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. And, let me know if you have anything else you want to comment on. I probably will make another follow-up video unless, you know, you guys have more stuff to add. I'm trying to remember, if there was anything else. I think a lot of people kind of agreed with me that games, you know, games are meant to play however you want to play them. If you want to be super serious and that's what you get out of it, then great, but, you know, don't bring other people down with you, kind of thing. But, yeah, so I guess I'll end the video with talking about Wizard 101. So like I said, this is a low-level character. For anyone who's familiar, you'll notice that I'm a myth-based wizard. I don't remember what they're called. They all have names, like the Fire Wizard's a Pyromancer, the Undead one's a Necromancer. I can't remember them all, honestly. It's free to start. It's not free to play. I don't want to use that term when you say free to start, because there's only so much you can do for free at the beginning, and then to get to new areas, you have to pay money or get a membership. You can look all that up online. But as you can see, let me... You know what? Actually, do I have another quest in there? Yeah, let's do a harbor quest. So yeah, people like to say it's a kid's game, but I honestly don't classify it as a kid's game. It's gonna be kind of silly for me to say. I think it's geared towards kids and families because the way it's set up, and you know, with the whole you can see that certain people can't type in anything. They have to pick from certain words, and if I try to type in hello as I'm getting through it until I've typed the O, then it's like that's an unsafe word, you know. So, but I think, you know, by having it, people think it's a family game. You actually kind of push away a lot of serious gamers. Ironically, after we were just discussing it. I almost never come across mean people. Now, to be fair, I have met lots of rude people. Like, in fact, just yesterday I was doing a fight, and somebody ran into my fight. It was a dungeon fight. It was like not a dungeon, but like a boss fight. And he ran into my boss fight, and then he kept ordering me around because my main character is a balance wizard, which is support. And generally when there is someone else playing with me, I do support them. That's what my job is. But I don't appreciate when people are like giving me orders, and I'm like, look, you know, you're fortunate that I had all the cards you asked me for, but don't order me around. Just be nice. But anyways, so I guess I can explain the fight system. So you have 30 seconds. I am timed. I can't stop that timer for anything, even when I'm playing by myself. You have a deck of cards, which is your attacks, and it's random how they're shuffled. And so you have this many at a time, and let me pick something before I run out of time. You'll notice in front of me here, I don't know if you can see my cursor, so I have these little glowing dots. They're called pips. There's a white one and a yellow one, and the yellow one's called a power pip, and it's worth 2 points, and the white ones are worth 1. And consider that your MP. So right now, yeah, I have 3 MPs of the 2 and the 1. So you'll notice here it's got a 3, so now I can cast a level 3 spell. So I could pass and then pretty much just keep building up how many I have. So honestly, it's a strategy game because you can get the necromancers, especially because there's a billion of those. Like, everyone's a necromancer in this game. Their favorite things to do is keep buffing themselves. Yeah, you can miss. Like, I fizzled, which means nothing happened. You can keep buffing yourself, like, see this one here, if I put this trap on him, he's going to take 25% more damage next time I hit him. See, I have one on me now, so if he were to hit me, I'd take more damage than normal. You can actually add charms to yourself that make you stronger, so you can just keep, you know, layering them on, and then do one attack and do, like, thousands of damage. It's very common for undead players to play that way. Fire mages are interesting because a lot of their spells do damage over time. I'll show you right now. But that in itself is quite a strategy, because if you get someone who does a lot of damage over time spells and somebody who wants to really like save up buffs and stuff, it's too difficult to work with them because the damage over time spells use those traps. They use them up, and so it's kind of hard to explain. But yeah, so I enjoyed the game because it's kind of it can be relaxing because the fight systems are kind of slow, so I enjoy listening to YouTube videos or movies in the background while I'm playing. And only when I get in like really hard boss fights or I fight with other people, to be courteous, I'll pay like really close attention. Yeah, so right now I'm in this fight circle, and any player that wanted to join the fight would just rush in and see there's 4 slots on each side. So as soon as somebody joined me, another, like one of these minotaurs could jump into the fight too. So it always makes sure that there's not a constant flow of bad guys. But that's also a downside, is if somebody's like about to die and they're just about to kill the person and you run into their fight, then another NPC can run in and they're in serious trouble. So you have to be cautious of your surroundings. Like, it happens all the time. People accidentally jump into my fight and they'll be like, oh no, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, yeah, that's alright, no problem. But that's the one thing I don't like about this game is the crowded servers sometimes. Like, you can pick which server, so it's not like you're stuck on one, and I often pick uncrowded servers, just so I actually crochet while I'm playing this, because some of the later fights take a very long time. So I'll actually sit here and crochet while I'm watching these middle animations. Like I said, not when there's other people waiting for me, because I don't want the timer running and they're like waiting for me. But, yeah, and there's fun little mounts. Like, I love this mount. It's one of my favorites. Pets. I'm not sure if you guys noticed I had... Gosh darn it, I still haven't got... I was supposed to beat these Minotaurs for, a Warhorn. No. Yeah, I'm supposed to get a Warhorn pass of some kind. Okay, so you're watching, I'm sure... I'm trying to catch one of the Warhorns, not one of the Cyclopses. There we go. Yeah, so I have this little bunny, its name is Ginger. You can't pick your own name, you have to pick, like, they give you a bunch of words and you can make a name from words. And so anyways, my pet's name is Ginger. The pets can do stuff for you. They actually can buff you. I can show you after this. And if you're a member, well, anyone can do pet races, but you can only race against other people, to my knowledge, if you're a member. And you can play a bunch of mini games with your pets to level them up. There's even an iPad game, it's like a tower defense game. You can play with your pet to level them up when you're not playing the actual game. I thought that was kind of nice, actually. That's actually the main way I level up my pets. I guess while I'm showing this off. So, myth-based warriors, wizards, to my knowledge, I haven't gotten very far in this one, is a summon minion. So now I can see, and now I have a troll helping me. And, he can actually help fight for me. I can't control him, but he can help fight for me. I kind of get the feeling, you guys can correct me on this, I mean, I don't know, but I kind of get the feeling myth wizards are not popular. I almost never see them. Like, one feature in the game that's very nice, if you get stuck on a dungeon or a boss, most of the time you can ask for help, and it will scour all the servers for people who need the same thing, and you can work together, and I almost never see myth wizards. It's extremely rare. Although, I don't see too many balanced wizards either, which is what I am. I always see necromancers. There's a million of them! The reason necromancers are so popular is because a lot of their spells will do damage, and then 50% of the damage you do heals the wizard, so you don't need healing spells. That's actually one reason it's so popular. Oh, my phone is ringing. Well, anyways, I guess that's probably enough to show off. There's a lot of other stuff in the game. You can have a house, and you can fill up the house. In the house, you can do gardening, and in the garden, you can raise flowers that give you lots of reagents and pet food, because you can feed your pet after the minigame to get more experience stats. And the plants also give you crafting materials, because there's also crafting in the game, so you can craft your own stuff. I'm not good at crafting. I've barely done crafting at all, so I can't really say much about it. But yeah, and if you guys play Wizard 101 and you try to friend me, I might not even notice it. I apologize. I don't play much. I play very little. I kind of just play here and there. I don't have a membership. I just buy areas permanently when I come to them, so, yeah, I don't play much. And so many random people, like, just walk right by me and friend me, so I can't tell a difference if somebody actually wants to be my friend or if they're just trying to add more people to their list, so, just send me a message on, through YouTube if, for any reason, you really want to play with me. I'll try to remember, because, yeah, it's hard for me to remember all these names, because I have a couple friends and I've already forgotten who they, like, not, like, friends I've met in-game and not, like, real-life friends, and I was like, shoot, who are they again? I'm awful at names in real life, and... Anyways, I better go. Helper keeps calling me, so I will see you guys in another video. Bye for now.